Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Haven't enjoyed your day so far, and a lot happened yesterday in the Call of Duty world. Today we're going to talk about hackers being exposed once again around these Challenger Cups, and Crimsix pretty much calling out Activision to say, look, if you don't do anything about this, anything below the pro level in future titles is going to be completely chalked. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you were new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Let's hop into things then. So ELLey says this on the 8th of Jan, counting down the days until the CDL season starts. I'm sure a lot of people can share this sentiment, and as Gene says, Doug sent to Martin trying to GA anime gifts right before these Challenger Cup tournaments. I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. And as Detain says on the European amateur side, channeled my inner Neptune with this crazy route here on Crossroads. I've never seen anyone do this before. I think Neptune did a kind of similar thing over on Moscow, over at that kind of outskirts area near the A-bomb. But yeah, this is something I had not seen before. Should this even be allowed? Should this effectively be GA'd out of the game? Who really knows? It does seem pretty high risk, right? But at the same time, he doesn't have to hit any crazy movements. He just has to get his movement pretty much perfect, and he makes it over with like 0.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds to spare. So in theory, this could be done a fair bit. It does give you a good way to actually break into this P4 hill, which is pretty difficult to break on Crossroads. But yeah, well, certainly something to keep your eye out for, because well, this was not something I was expecting to see. Fair play to Detain for finding this one. Then in the APAC region, we immediately get some sort of hacking accusations coming out here from Wombat. I think even Wombat reached out to me and said, look, okay, fair play, I actually was hacking. I'm like, what are you playing at? Like, just don't hack. Surely it can't be too hard. Aero then replies saying, okay, he made it to Sunday and is playing, but he's actually hacking. This guy apparently was hacking a few weekends ago, so I'm like, this is absolute chaos right now. Hackers are calling out other cheaters. Like, you know, just what is going on? And then, well, we'll get into that in more detail in a second in terms of the North American Cup, because, well, we get some pretty serious accusations coming out once again. I mean, who is surprised, quite frankly? Center says this, so they lost once again. They cannot break the top 32 curse. They lost to Goat Clamp and Co. So I think they're playing against like a quad Mexico ping, as he says right here, 130 ping, made the smallest mistake and paid the price. Just got to hold the L and get better for next week. So yeah, Doug can't make it work in this one, but yeah, it was kind of frying. But as you can see, he gets absolutely bodied off this head glitch in a second. So well, interesting to see how Center and Co can bounce back next week, and Parasite and Co are still going on in this tournament, so I'm not sure how long Parasite is going to be on that team. We might end up talking about that tomorrow. So Standy says this right on the Triumph Gaming Squad, my conclusion is that he cheats, so hopefully something is done about it. Looking through walls is enough suspicion for me. Good night, brothers, right? So of course these guys go out, I think top 16. They lost to a couple of sketchy guys, and the question is, alright, let's go back in theatre and have a look if anything dodgy is going on here. And it certainly looked like there was some dodgy things going on. This was a clip I thought was pretty remarkable here. So the guy they're calling out is a guy called Derpin, and as you can see here in control, he just sprints down mid-map, doesn't look at anything. Like, what's he aiming at right here? I don't know what he's aiming at. Runs straight through kitchen. What's he even looking at? It doesn't make any sense. And just like straight on the flank, basically I imagine he was looking at them through the walls. He comes immediately on the flank and gets a two-piece from behind. So pretty suspect clip, all things considered. Like, why are you not looking at common angles? Why are you at least if you're running through, you would at least look where someone could be, even if you're pretty confident they are all going to go to that side of the map. It's still a bit of a strange one. And then we get a number of different clips, right? So as Tommy says, with Standy showing proof of Derpin possibly cheating, I'd like to submit clips of my own to see what you all think. So he submits like 8 different clips right here of just some sketchy stuff going on. I'll share probably one of them here on screen for you guys in a second. And well, him and his teammates are kind of just sitting in the call here watching this guy from a theatre mode perspective. And of course we have to say, like, well, thankfully theatre is actually in the game right now, which Crimsix is going to talk about in a second, because in previous titles we have not got theatre mode at launch. Of course theatre mode isn't perfect. It doesn't show all the well, all the intricacies, and things can be a little bit skewed in theatre mode compared to in real life. So it's maybe not perfect, but it's still much better than what we would have, right? Because if, okay, these are pros, these are, well, amateur players at least, aren't forced to stream these tournaments. Of course, even if they are streaming, you can't see their entire setup, right? They don't have to have cameras on every aspect of their monitor, so it's impossible to tell if people actually are using cheats in that sense. So at least theatre does give us a way of looking back at some of these clips and saying, like, okay, look, some of this stuff is pretty suspect. I think it goes on and on here, so part 3, part 4, part 5, all the way to part 7 right here, which is pretty suspect as well. What happens where he kind of like pre-aims, effectively just quick scopes this guy through a wall right here. But of course in theatre mode things can look a little bit different, but when you have a lot of clips at the same time, like looking kind of like this, it's well, things start to get a little bit suspect. And without theatre mode, what would we even better do about stuff like this? People would have their suspicions all over the park, but they couldn't go into theatre and actually check if something suspect was going on. But at the same time, how can you prove these type of stuff? It's difficult to say without a barrage of evidence, as of course these guys are providing.
Pause it right when he starts shooting.
Yeah, I will.
He sees the guy on
He sees 2 on bomb, right? He sees 2 on bomb. He doesn't pre-fire bomb, right?
I'm a ring right now. Or like
He's ring. He jumps across, and You can see John right there. You saw him right there. Look.
Barely. Now you see.
Now you see him.
But this
Right,
is
he keeps shooting. This is
slow-mo.
slow-mo, full slow-mo. Look at him. He messes up his slide cancel, starts shooting him through the wall. And still gets gun dizzled.
So then as Crimsix comes out and says, bringing attention to this thread, this is the nail in the coffin for me. Forwarding this to League Ops, GG at Derpin, get to flipping patties, I want no pickles on my burger. Watch all the clips in this thread. So of course everything will be linked down below for you guys, but Crimsix just coming in and saying, look, this is way too good to be true. There's no way this guy's legit. These guys are blatantly hacking in these challenger tournaments and affecting people's pro point standings, right? Like it's such a big deal. The fact that in these tournaments, they count for pro points, they count for seeding for the challengers elite later on in the season. But yet hackers are coming in here and being, they're not hacking all the time. They're just using wall hacks on occasion to just, okay, a crucial round, crucial moment. Let's just look through a wall and see where these guys might potentially be. I think people are also accusing this guy of maybe aim hacking as well. But yeah, definitely a few suspect clips. And Crimsix says, look, this is just the final nail in the coffin. It's actually costing people who are legit their victories, which would get them important pro points going forwards, right? And it's something which if you lose to one of these guys, like what are you really meant to do about it, right? And well, as he continues, so we get a reply right here, you're acting like I wouldn't turn on monitor cam and put you down. And well, Crim's like, yeah, throw the cam on while you flip my patties while you're at it. So yeah, the idea here being that if you have a monitor cam on, then you can see that you're not using wall hacks, right? Because you'll be able to see them on the actual monitor when you can't see them in theater mode and stuff like this. But yeah, Crim is not convinced. Everybody knows you used to boot people offline back then. You even fried my teammate off in Black Ops 3. I would not put it past you to throw on GameChuck 2020. And if you put a gun to my head and said you have to get the answer correct, is Derpin hacking in these clips? I would answer yes. So yeah, well, Crimsix very much convinced that this is legit. And well, then there's a long thread that comes out in reply to this one. I request everyone at Crimsix under this clip, and Crim eventually replies to some of this stuff and says, look, don't waste your time with these guys. They play spin the bottle on who's hacking for the next match, as saying that the entire team has hacks available, and they effectively just decide who's going to hack for the next match on the fly, just to, well, to kind of deceive maybe whoever's trying to figure out who's doing it. They're all in on it, but admins don't care because that takes effort, and no one can ever be 100% sure that they are hacking. Call of Duty needs an anti-cheat to support these claims. And as Crims comes out in reply with, pretty much blasting Activision, like, look, if Activision won't invest the money to creating an anti-cheat for Call of Duty, I mean, we looked at the other day how Dashy was talking about they made $700 million in just the first 2 months of Black Ops Cold War alone, and like $2 billion in the last 12 months, and well, they still haven't got an anti-cheat in the game. And since the next CoD isn't being made by Treyarch, meaning theater mode is highly unlikely as we have it right now, anything competitive CoD under the Pro League level, which I imagine we can be relatively confident that people aren't cheating, even though, well, that's still a question mark you might ask, anything under the Pro League level will be dead upon the release of the game. And a lot of people saying, like, right now, what can we even do about these hackers? How is it even possible to regulate? It's pretty much not, but at least theater mode gives us an opportunity to look at some of these guys and expose a few of them on the timeline here. But well, if that wasn't the case, what can we even do? I mean, well, some big questions to be answered, honestly. And there were some replies to this, of course, like, this is why the morons at the CoD League should have, well, kept it on console effectively. But as Grim says, look, this was a financial incredible move from them because they don't have to pay Microsoft or Sony for the hosting rights. They don't have to pay the the fee that they take for the microtransactions, rumored to be 33 to 50% or so. So Activision is making way more money going down this new PC route, but yet, well, where is the anti-cheat, right? Certainly some big questions to be asked right here. And as Saints then says in reply, this is pretty funny, he just looks at one of his own clips of him getting a nice 4-piece and is talking about as if he's hacking. You can actually see his name at the bottom left here, so he's not trying to call someone out, he's just having a joke. Maybe I'll play this at the end of the video. But as Waskin then says, any top teams need one for challenges, you know where to find me. If your main wasn't cutting in then the 2K, hit me up ASAP. So Waskin definitely looking to get involved. We listed a few days ago, he was like, I might not even play due to the prevalence of hackers in the challenger side this season, but he seems to be pretty happy to maybe get involved right now. And just to finish off the video, this is very interesting that Shift tweets out, Renegades for the first time in, like, I don't know, a year and a half or something, actually failed to win a Challengers Cup or one of these online 2Ks in the APAC region. They finished 4th after a reverse sweep by Equilibrium in the APAC Challengers Cup, number 3, so pretty incredible. And well, Parasite with his team that he may be splitting up from this coming weekend clutches a very nice 1v4 to advance to the top 8, and we'll talk about the result of this tournament in tomorrow's video. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on this stuff though. Remarkable once again. What can we even do about this right now? Where is the anti-cheat? And well, if pro players keep calling out Activision, maybe they'll have to respond at some point or another. Thank you for watching as always. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and have grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Alright guys, so I was watching this guy in theater, and I'm convinced he's cheating. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think here. Look at this, ready? Why did he look to his right there? Oh my god. He's pre-firing people? What is he? Oh, why is he looking at that? No! Yeah, this guy's aimbotting clearly. What, he gets another one? No, yeah. I'm calling cheats.